break, but we're so happy to be back and talking about yarn and knitting and all that fun stuff.
All the things.
Mm-hmm.
All the things.
So, like I said, we've kind of been gone for a while, but, and there's various reasons, but we'll kind of go into that at the end of the episode. So if you're interested and want to know what we've been up to since our last episode, please stay till the end and we'll kind of talk more about that stuff.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Stick around.
So, yeah, we're recording again, and so we might be a little rusty.
A little rusty. And I think we hadn't really talked about this, but I think what we'll do is, rather than keeping to a stringent schedule of 2 weeks, at least during the summertime, we'll just kind of record as we can, because I'm actually about to go to Canada to visit family. So we won't even be able to put out an episode till August.
Probably first week in August, maybe.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. You know, well, maybe we should record during Red Six and Grill.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a fun time to do. But
anyway, you're in on the plan making.
You're in on the plan making. Yeah. We're doing this for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be a little bit more lax in our recording, at least through the summer. And we're really glad that you've stuck with us, while we've kind of done our things. And, but we still intend to come back and record for you, because we really do enjoy this and we enjoy our community.
Oh, so. Definitely. And we have missed it. So it feels good to be talking to you guys again. And we have some good stuff to talk about. Yeah. So we don't have a lot of FOs, but we each have an FO.
Yes, we do.
So that's awesome.
Yes, we do.
You want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. Well, and I think I talked about this on the last episode. I had just started it, maybe. But it's the Some Time Alone shawl by Sylvia McFadden. But I finished it.
It is gorgeous, you guys.
So, I don't know, I'll kind of hold it. You can kind of see the pattern a little bit better. And then I did the picot edging, which I didn't think I would really like the look of, but I do like it. I think it's because it's just on one edge. It's kind of a funny shaped shawl. It's not
kind
quite a it's not quite a triangle, but the picot edging is just on the side. And I really like it. It's just out of Cascade 220 Superwash in the color teal. And so you can kind of just, wear it like that. Or you can, it's kind of funny to like wrap around your neck because it is asymmetrical. So you have to kind of like play with it. Look, my arms are just going everywhere trying to figure it out. But you can kind of just,
do what you want.
Drape it or whatever, But yeah, I really like it. It was a really nice, fun, relaxing knit, and I'm really excited to have it done. So yeah.
It's gorgeous. I really love the detail in it.
And it's, in the pattern it says, block aggressively. And so I really was stretching it, which made it that's exactly what you needed to do. It made it a lot larger. But it also brought out the kind of
the detail.
And it was nice because it's kind of lace knitting, but it's worsted weight.
Oh.
So it went really fast.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I have a couple more of Sylvia McFadden's shawl patterns that I want to do. I don't have the yarn or anything for them, but I really did like the construction and everything of this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I have.
Nice.
Kind of on a shawl kick. You'll see in a minute.
So, as you guys know from last time, if you remember, I had been working on the Moonstone mittens for my sister-in-law's mother. And I only had not even one of them done. And I was a little concerned about the thumb holes. Or not the thumb holes, but the junction of
this right here.
Right here. Yeah. Right here. So there was a big gap there, and I wasn't sure what to do about that gap. And so I kind of sat on it for a while, and but they're done.
They're so cute.
They're so adorable. But they're by Woolfield Studio. And what I ended up doing was taking my yarn, and they need to be blocked, so sorry about that, y'all. But what I ended up doing was taking the yarn from my join and from the thumb, and I just worked it into those gaps, and it actually worked out really well where you don't really see any of those gaps anymore. So I just used the existing yarn that I had and worked it in through there, and so it worked really well.
And that's what I've done with mitts. I think that's really the best and easiest way to do it, because when I haven't I've done a couple fingerless, but always in that joint right there, there's, even when you pick up stitches, there's still like little holes, and so that's exactly what I've done, is just use the existing yarn to...
So these are done. I just need to block them, and then, you know, obviously it's summer here, so I'm not in any big rush to get it to her, but she'll have it in time for the winter. Yay!
Yeah, they're really cute, and I love the color.
But I've just kind of been sitting on this project going, well, what do I do? How do I fix this problem?
You cast on the second one, didn't you get it done in like a day and a half or 2 days? Yeah.
I cast it on the night before, and I got it done basically by 2:00 that next afternoon. So it was less than a day. And because once I figured out my problem, I was just like, oh, here we go. Let's just do this. And I really enjoyed the project. I just needed to get back in a knit state of mind, I guess is what it was, because I fell out of it. I totally fell out of it. And we'll talk about that more later. But
are you going to make a pair for yourself that match? Because you kind of have the hat that goes along with this, right?
I do have a hat that matches this pattern by Knititude. It was kind of a sister project to the Woolfield Studios. It is called You Made That Hat. You Made That Hat. And it matches this pattern. And I don't have any of the yarn left from that. I use that for a shrug. But I do have some other yarn that I'm considering making it out of. And I actually have a ton of this yarn left. This did not take very much yarn, surprisingly, because there's a lot of detail in it. But and I actually wouldn't want to use the yarn that I used for the hat because it was a thick and thin.
That's right.
So,
I remember that now.
Yeah. So
that wouldn't work well with mitts.
Would not work well for mitts,
You could just use a coordinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I do think I want to make those mitts, and I'm thinking about making those mitts as well I've got 4 sisters-in-law. I had to think about it. My husband has a big family. So I have 4 sisters-in-law, and I made You Made That Hat for all of them last year. So I'm thinking about making the mitts to coordinate for them this year for Christmas. If I do that, I need to probably start on that now, because I don't want to burn myself out for Christmas like I did last year. So yeah.
That's all that it feels like that's all your winter knitting was
Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
It definitely was I started Thanksgiving, so United States Thanksgiving in the end of November up through Christmas. So a full month of knitting was all for Christmas knitting, and I churned out a bunch of hats during that time.
Yeah,
it was like 7 or 8 hats during that time, which I think we talked about that briefly at the beginning of like episode 1. But I learned my lesson last year, and I'm not going to do that this year.
Yeah, don't burn yourself out.
So I need to start planning now.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
No. But so that is my only FO during this whole hiatus. I was not in a knit state of mind. So finally back in it, and got my
groove back?
Got my groove back.
Well, what are you working on?
So I am
now that you have your groove back.
I'm working on a couple of projects. So I started the Harlow hat by Andrea Renee Knits, and I am using some of the leftover yarn that I made my What the Fade in, because I just absolutely love the yarn. It's by Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play, and it's just a joy to work with, so I wanted to do something else with it. But I cast on the Harlow hat, and I gauged it sort of ish. Long story, but I ended up going down needle sizes to get my gauge. What ended up happening is when I started the brioche, I got this far and realized it was way too small for my head. So now I'm at the point where I need to decide, do I rip it all out and re-gauge, or do I keep going and give this as a gift to my niece? So I'm trying to decide at this point what I want to do. So it's kind of on hiatus right now, while I decide what I'm going to do with it, because I've made some mistakes in this. I dropped some stitches on accident when I threw it in my bag, because obviously I don't have my little stoppers, and it had come off the needles. About 5 or 6 stitches came off the needles, and I am not good enough with brioche to really be able to fix what I've dropped. Because I've only really done the What the Fade, so I'm less familiar with brioche, and I couldn't really fix. So I've got some little wonkiness happening here at the join where it came off. But so do I go ahead and rip it out and fix all my mistakes? Do I just continue on and give it to my niece? I don't know. Weigh in. Let me know what you think, because I don't care. I'm kind of undecided right now. We'll see what happens. Guess you'll know. But I've got plenty of other, if I decided to give this to my niece, I've got plenty of other yarn that's left over from that What the Fade that I could make myself a hat as well.
That's what I was going to ask you, is if you would have enough to make one for yourself.
I would have I don't know that I would have enough of the purple, but I definitely have enough of the teal, the peacock.
Which is one of your favorites. Anyway.
Which is my favorite. Yeah, it is my favorite. And I've got enough of the peacock, and I've got the pink, the watermelon. So watermelon icebox, I think is what it's called. But I've got enough that I could make myself a different hat if I wanted to. So, I'm on the fence.
Just see how you feel.
Just see how I feel. But in the meantime, I've got another project, which I'll talk about in a moment, but Kitten.
Okay.
Let's see what you're doing.
I have a hoe, actually. I have a half finished, but it's also a work in progress. So this is the finished sock. And then I am working on the second one. So I'm just doing the little heel flap there.
I love the colors of this. It's so bright and vibrant and fun.
I'm finally using the
X-rated?
Yes, X-rated by, sorry, I'm dropping all my needles here, by Tricked Out You. And and then the pink is just like Knit Picks Stroll fingering. I had cast these on for myself, because this is my second pair of socks. And I cast this on for myself, and I did them too short. And I had already done the toe and everything, and they were too short. So my mom has a smaller foot than I do. She wears about a size smaller than I do. So when she was over, I had her try this one on, and it fit her. So I'm just going to make the second one just like this one and give them to my mom.
Yeah.
And there's not very much left for the second one, and I still have all this yarn. So I think that I'll be able to still make a pair. I'll have enough to make a pair for myself.
Nice.
Especially if I feel like I might not, I have a ton of this pink. So I could always do this for the toe and the heel too, if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And if I didn't think I had enough yarn. So yeah, I really like them. They're really cute.
They're just fun.
They're just too small for me. So yeah. But I'm really happy to give them to my mom. So she really liked them. And I told her, I was like, well, I'll work on them as fast as I can. She's like, I'm not going to wear any socks until fall.
Yeah.
So, don't worry about it. Because it's 100 degrees out, literally 100 degrees out. So
yeah, nobody's
wearing 100% wool socks.
No.
So, yeah. No. But I like them. They're super cute. But that's one of them. Do you want me to go to my next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I am finally using my Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play Hatbox yarn in squid ink that I bought 3 skeins of that I love so much. This pretty purpley gray. I'm finally using it for a shawl. And it's the Frosted Leaves shawl by Lisa Haynes. And yeah, this is the right. So I just started on the leaf pattern. You can kind of see it there. And then this is just a bunch of garter. And it's a really big long shawl that's going to have this really pretty leaf pattern, and then it kind of goes into, it's not a rib because it's not stretchy, but it kind of has the look of a rib. And this yarn is so yummy and so nice to work with. I love it so much. Yeah. Like, I am totally in love with the color, but I also just love knitting with it. And I don't know if you can really see, but you can, there's all these subtle colors. So it looks gray, but then there's all these pretty colors in it.
So the base, if I remember correctly, is what, an 80-10-10 merino
I don't
cashmere.
Have my tags, so I think it's an
80-10-10 merino cashmere and silk, if I remember correctly. Okay. And because that's the same that I'm making that Harlow hat of, that I made the fade out of.
And it's a sport weight, but it's really, you could almost use it. It's for a fingering.
Yeah, it's a 75-15-10 wool, merino wool, silk, and cashmere. But it is just, that base is just a joy.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice. Like, when I first cast this on, I texted Gal and was like, this is like heavenly to work with. I love it.
I texted her back and I'm like, I'm glad you found the joy, because it is just wonderful. So if you have a chance, look up Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play, because her colorways are gorgeous and the yarn is just a joy to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, her hat box is the sport weight, and then I think their like train case might be the fingering or something. Like, they're all they're all like, train case, hat box. Yeah. Like,
And I've bought the worsted before and
maybe the worsted is called train case. I don't remember, because I liked it so much that I started looking at her other bases. Yeah. And her other weights, and they all have like the cute little
names. Little steamer trunk. A steamer trunk, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, steamer trunk is one of them. Yeah. But anyway. I love it. It's really fun.
So I finally started working on my Shusui Shrug by Susanne.
I'm so excited that she's working on it. So excited.
And here is the progress that we've made so far. It kind of looks like a butterfly, which is nice. But the top here goes over your neck, and the lace holes there go over your shoulders. So it kind of just does this fun little wrap thing, and it will have like bat wing arms, so it's kind of a mix between a shawl and a shrug. And that's what it is, a shrug.
Ribbed cuffs.
Yeah, right? It's got gathered, or not gathered, but ribbed cuffs down here to kind of gather it. So it does actually taper a bit. But some things that I have noticed, because I am using my colorways from Leon Alexander, which I just absolutely love these colorways. You've got Parisian Jardin and you've got Pink Lady. So side by side, they look very contrasty. You would think there would be a heck of a lot of difference in them. But I guess because the Parisian Jardin, and I know I'm botching that word, y'all. Parisian garden. We're just going to call it that.
There you go.
Because I sound like a fool otherwise. But as you see, there's not a big difference between the back and the front. I mean, there is some difference, but not as much as I had hoped there would be. And so I am still really learning how to mix and match my colorways, what speckles look like, knit it up. I'm really, there's a learning curve, obviously. And I am in the process of learning that, obviously. So, but it's a mix of garter stitch and brioche and yarn overs, and it's just a joyful pattern to work on. I've just really, because I did this in a couple of days, I think.
Yeah, you did it pretty fast.
And it's just been fun to sit down and work on when I have a moment. I think What the Fade was a good gateway to this guy. Because it gave me some great fundamentals with brioche to take into this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel much more comfortable in my brioche this go round, and can kind of not interpret the pattern per se, but I know what's coming up, and so I'm not having to use the pattern. I'm not having to sit there and stare at the pattern as I go through. Once I kind of develop the base, I can read my stitches and know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I mean, it's going to be a big project.
Yeah.
So this is going to be going on for a while, so I probably won't be talking about this every time. I might just show my progress and go, hey, look at what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, we'll take it as it goes and see what happens. Do you have any other whips?
I do. I do have one.
Go for it.
Which I'm really excited about. It's in this cute bag that I just made. It's got little doggies on it. And then the inside, I just made this a couple days ago. Our little bones and hearts.
I didn't see the inside.
Yeah,
that is so
isn't it
super cute.
But this shawl, it's another shawl. It's going to be giant, and I needed another giant project bag. So I made this one.
Yay.
And I really like it. Anyway, so I'm doing A Girl's Best Friend by Isabell Kraemer. That's what it looks like.
And I'll put a picture up too.
I saw this on the Sandy from By the Lakeside is knitting it, and I fell in love with it. So I am use 3 colors of fingering weight, and I actually am using finally the yarn that I bought. Some of the yarn I bought at Fiberfest. I actually have not used any of it, but I bought this to make the Second Avenue wrap or shawl.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this and I was like, no way. I'm going to use those colors. I'm getting all my tags here. So, here is what I have. Sorry, it's tangled. So far. Yeah. And it's so pretty.
The detail on this is just stunning.
I love it so much. And it's actually pretty fast because I started this on Friday and I didn't knit it all yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I did all of this on Friday.
Nice.
And so this is the main color. And it is, let me get my tags. It's 100 ravens on their Yaksha, which is 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And it's in the color Carmen de Bohème. And I love it. I love this yarn. I love it. It feels really nice, and it's kind of squishy on parts. I really like it. And then the next color will be this beautiful greenish color.
I love that color.
Which is by Suburban Stitcher. It's their pure sock, 100% merino, in the color Ballard. So that will be kind of striped, and they're different textures and stuff, so there's a lot going on. And then the next will be Madeline Tosh. I think it's called Madeline Tosh Light. It's like her fingering weight in soot. And it's this really pretty white with the speckles. So, yeah, that will be the colors.
She has great color choices, y'all. I love her color choices.
Thank you. So, I'm really excited. Like I said, I intended on making the Second Avenue wrap, which also I saw on the By the Lakeside podcast. But I needed like two or three more colors for it. But then when I saw this one on her latest episode, I was like, I love that. And I have the yarn that I can make it. And I actually was more into that one than the Second Avenue. I might still make the Second Avenue at some point, but I was really feeling this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's lovely. I love knitting it. I love the yarn. I have quite a bit. I think you do, 14 repeats. And this is like 2.5. So I have quite a bit to go on this. But then I can start this color, and then this color,
And it's going to be so
That's
pretty.
the exciting part.
It's
so
pretty.
I'm on a shawl kick, but I am okay with that.
Yeah. You wear a lot of shawls, though, in the fall and winter.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to have some of these in my basic black wardrobe.
Spruce it up.
Yeah.
Color it up.
But yeah, that's what I've got going on, and I kind of just love both of the shawls I'm working on.
Oh, that's great.
I love them. It's hard to decide which one I want to work on because I like them both so much.
Yeah.
But I guess it's good because I'm not going to be wearing them anytime soon, so I have lots of time to work on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun.
Yay.
And that's all of the whips I have. I guess 3 is enough. I mean, I have other whips, but I have, they're not active right now.
So, I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I think I'm going to. The long weekend cardigan, which I haven't pulled out because I haven't started working on it again. But I'm really, in the mood to start working on it again.
Yeah.
So, and I'd like to get it done for fall. I really would. And I don't have much left to do. I think I've got to do the arms and the
band around the neck.
The band around the neck. And I think I need to do some pockets. But all of that should go pretty quickly, I think. I just need to sit down and do it. I went to pull it out the other day and my pattern wasn't in with it.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know. I got to find my pattern first. And see what I've done with that because I'm hoping it's just in my pattern book. We'll see. But I would like to start working on that. So that's going to be a work in progress that I'm going to pick back up. That was in hiatus for a while. I've been working on that now for 2 years. It was actually my first major project when I started knitting it. I finished so many other things in the
Did you start that one before you did that burgundy colored cardigan?
Yeah. So the tea leaf sweater.
Tea leaf, yeah.
Yeah. No, I started that a year before I started the tea leaf sweater. So when I go to Canada this year, this is going to be the 3rd time I have taken this to Canada because I started it basically in Canada and then I took it up last year and worked on it in Canada. And now I'm going to go to Canada again and I'm taking it for a 3rd time. So I really need to get this off my needles. I do. And it's going to be so cozy once it's done.
Going to be really
I don't know
nice
why I'm
fall.
having such a hard time, but I'm in the mood to pick it back up again and really
Yeah, then you need to jump on that if you're feeling in the mood.
Yeah. That's kind of my thought. So, so that I'm going to bring up because I'm going to start working on that again. But it's in a really pretty, also teal color because I love teal. So yeah, that is.
Do you have anything else in your queue that you're planning on working on?
Yes. I would like to start working on. Okay, so y'all, I just all of the major designers out there, I just love everything they do, and I kind of feel a little bit like not a cop-out, but I feel like I'm on the train with everybody else and just going, oh yeah, I love that too. I'm going to make it as well as everybody else out there.
Well, these patterns are popular for a reason.
I know.
It's because they're so pretty.
They're so great. But I want to make the Like a Cloud by Locatelli. I think it's gorgeous. So the thing about the Like a Cloud and what I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do with, I am considering dyeing my own yarn for that one.
Even the mohair?
Even the mohair.
Nice.
So I haven't bought anything for that. I obviously have other projects that I'm working on that are pretty big right now anyway. So I'm trying to decide, do I have the right bases at my fingertips to be able to dye it? And B, what color do I want? And do I have the dye for it? Because I probably will need to purchase some dye as well for it. So that's kind of where I'm at. But that is in my queue. I would like to start on that. Probably it won't happen before fall, I would imagine. So it's not going to be ready for fall.
I've heard it's a really great pattern.
Yeah.
That it's not a hard pattern. It's very intuitive.
Yeah.
And there's several people that I watch their podcasts and they're doing it and they love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to working with that. I just, there again, I have so many things I need to decide. Now you see why I got stuck with my knitting because I get in this I don't want to call it a tailspin because that's not what it is, but I get very indecisive on what I want to do.
And then you just don't do
And then I just don't
anything.
do it for a while until I get the bug, and it's just like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, it just comes to me. It's like an epiphany. It's like all of a sudden it's going, I know what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Here we go.
It just, inspiration strikes. And you're like, that's it.
And that's really what happens is inspiration just strikes me and I go with the flow. And, you know, that's all. That's all. So
well, and you knit a lot faster if you're working on something you want to be working on, not something that you're trying to force yourself to do. So once you enjoy it more, and you're just, it seems to go by quicker.
Exactly. Well, it's like what you were saying, when you're inspired, then that kind of catapults you into that desire of, I want to work on this. And it's with a medium that you love, it's in a color that you love, and hopefully a pattern that you love. Right. And just to be able to see that final product when it's all done, oh man, it's just, as you guys know, it's an amazing feeling to finish a project that you've been working so hard on.
Oh yeah.
It's also very disheartening whenever it doesn't work out.
I know. I feel like I've had a few that lately that I'm just like, you know, that just didn't work out. And so it kind of, you know, bummed me out. Sure. And then I didn't have that like motivation to work on stuff. Sure. But shawls I like. Yeah. And shawls I know I can do. I'm still kind of struggling to find what I like to knit in like a sweater. Yeah. Because I'm working on a lace weight sweater, and at first I thought I really liked knitting with lace weight, and now I decided maybe I don't. Oh. I don't know. So I put it away for a little bit. Yeah. But sometimes that's just what you have to do. Yeah. But it was one of those things where I really wanted to get it done because I wanted to see how it fit, and I was excited to see if I actually have finally knit a sweater or cardigan that I like and that fits me right. And then, so I was just working, but I wasn't really enjoying working on it. Oh. So I just put it away and started working on something that I liked. Yeah. I'll come back to it later, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah.
No, I get that. But acquisitions.
I have something in my queue. Oh.
Sorry.
I only have one thing. And I don't have yarn for it or anything, but I want to make I'm really in the mood to do a hat. For fall, and I have a couple that I've done, but I want something in a very neutral color, not black because my hair is black, so I don't really want a black hat, but I wouldn't be opposed to something very close to black. But just something that's neutral that it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, what coat I'm wearing, it doesn't matter. I should just put it in my bag and put it on. And I have the pattern I want to do. I want to do the Crosshatch hat by Cassondra Rizzardi. And it's fingering weight, and I love, love, love that pattern. It's kind of a slouchy hat, and I'm just kind of looking for the right yarn for it. But I definitely want to do that. It'll be fast because it's a hat, and just kind of, I don't know if I maybe want like a navy blue with some, I don't know. I don't want it, I either want a gradient or maybe a speckled, because the photo on the pattern is like a purple speckled, which I have a purple hat that I made last year, so I don't want another purple one. But I'm thinking I want like a navy blue or something like that.
That would be nice.
But yeah, so there's a couple I've scoped out and have saved on Etsy that I'm thinking about. But yeah, I definitely want to do that hat. But that's all that I have in my immediate queue. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, acquisitions. I have none.
We have none.
Nope.
You know, we did our big purchase at DFW Fiberfest
in
April when we showed everybody all of our things. And we're just obviously now starting to work with those things that we purchased. So there hasn't been a big need to buy any. We've got tons of yarn.
Yeah.
Tons of yarn. That's not including all my stash over there.
Right.
And so yeah, haven't really been a big need for acquisitions at this point.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess you could count this little bag as an acquisition that I made, but yeah, I will probably eventually buy some yarn for that hat, probably in the next month or so. But other than that, I don't... And I don't keep a big stash of yarn. I do have a little bit of a stash going from all the stuff I bought at DFW Fiberfest. But I'm using 2 of those right now. And then the other is like a self-striping sock yarn. Mm-hmm. And then the other is like a sweater kit. So that's what I'll, do with that. But
I'm excited to see you work on that sweater.
Yeah, I did buy the pattern. So I could actually look at it. It's the True Friend, and I forget who it's by. But I bought a kit at Fiberfest, and the pattern does not look hard at all.
Oh, good.
So I will eventually cast that on.
Yeah.
So I can wear it in the fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty content, except just trying to find some hat yarn.
Yeah. Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
That's a good feeling. I mean, I will always want to buy yarn, but I don't really feel like the need to have any right now.
Yeah. No, it's been nice for me because, as you guys, I stash. Mm-hmm. I stash so much. It's been nice for me to just kind of go, okay, I've fulfilled my stash quota. I don't need any more. Mm-hmm. So I've really been trying to be picky about what I'm buying and just buy what I know. And it kind of along more your vein. Mm-hmm.
Have a project in mind
that you buy for. So I've been trying to do less stashing, more utilizing my stash, and more just buying what I know I need instead of just the pretty yarn. Because, gosh, if I bought all the pretty yarn out there,
you would have all the yarn. Mm-hmm.
I would have it all, and I would not have a husband or money in my bank account.
Right.
So.
But I'm sure the closer it gets to fall, because I don't have this is another thing I'll go ahead and talk about is, like I said just a few minutes ago, I am still trying to find what I like in a sweater. And I don't really have sweater quantities of any yarn except for the stuff I bought for the True Friend. But what if... It's okay if I'm just not a sweater knitter. Yeah. I don't have to knit sweaters just because I knit.
Yeah.
I can be a sock and shawl knitter if I want. I do really want to knit a sweater, though, and that fits me.
Yeah.
And maybe the True Friend will be that. Because right now I just feel like I'm not a clothing knitter. I'm an accessory knitter. That all the kind of clothing items that I've done, I haven't really liked.
Yeah. And
maybe it's my pattern picking, but I think that that's just something as I've become a knitter with a capital K, I almost said N, that's not how you spell knitter, that, I'm still learning what I like in colors. I mean, I know what I like in colors when I go to a store and buy things. But I'm still, I think I have a better idea now of what I will actually wear in a knitted accessory or a knitted garment.
Yeah.
And I think as far as garments go, I'm just not picking the patterns that are right for me. And so, I think the True Friend will be something I would wear anyway. Mm-hmm. And hopefully I knit it well and knit it in the right size. But yeah, it's kind of just finding, I'm still, I think I'm almost there and finding the colors I like and what colors you like in things. I'll wear brighter colors in an accessory, but I don't want a bright green sweater.
Yeah.
But I'll have a bright green scarf or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of fun and been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Just to kind of have a better sense. I don't know why it's so different when you're making something to when you're buying it.
Yeah.
But it has been.
Yeah.
So, that Two Sweets shawl that I did, that was the beautiful pink and fairy yummy unicorn colors. I ended up giving that to my niece. And it was a proper shawl on her because she's 5 and it was adorable.
Yeah.
But I originally knit it for myself, but I was I will never wear this, so I'm going to give it to my niece and she'll look so cute in a little Easter dress with her little shawl. So, just finding what I like.
Sure.
Because I have knit some stuff where I even like it, but I don't like the color or something.
Yeah, I get that. And I've done that before too. And that's the frustrating thing is whenever you're knitting something and you realize you don't enjoy the color and you've spent the money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to say you hate knitting it because that's not.
But you don't want to be wasteful. So you're like,
you don't want to be wasteful. Yeah. And so you're using what you got because you bought it, but it's not the way you had hoped it was going to turn out. So done that before.
I've just decided that, if I have something that I've knit and it's, done well, but I'm not going to wear it, find somebody that
will enjoy it.
That will.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a good way to look at that.
But anyway, that was tangent.
Absolutely.
But I think that's all. Is that all we have for knitting?
That's pretty much all we have for knitting. I am going to talk really quick about dyeing. Because...
Yarn dyeing, not physically dyeing.
Yeah, no, good point. So I am going to probably do some yarn dyeing here soon. I've got a lot of things that I need to decide upon and play with. So I might set up an Etsy shop and start selling some of my yarns that I do dye, and they'll probably just be one of a kinds because I am learning at this juncture.
You don't have like recipes or anything.
I don't have
at
recipes
this point,
at this point. I know what I kind of like. I need to play more with what I like to knit up, which again I'm still learning. So I've got a big learning curve. But if you guys have any colors or anything like that you're interested in, I'm willing to try. So just let me know because I'm willing to work on it. And
what are your preferred weights too?
Yeah.
Like yarn weight. Like, I love fingering weight yarn is my favorite
to knit up with.
To knit, but it is nice to do worsted because it knits really fast.
Sure. And, what quantities do you look at buying? Do you look at buying just single skeins? Do you look at buying sweater quantities? Because this is another question that my husband and I have kind of bantered about. I personally think you look more for single skeins because it is so expensive to buy in sweater quantities, anything. And so what kind of quantities do you look for? Because I'm kind of curious as to what quantities I need to dye. So let me know. Because I would be interested in some feedback from everybody. I would appreciate anything that you could give me. But I'm kind of excited to get started. I like creating. And yarn seems to be my medium that I enjoy creating with. So I'm really excited to delve more into dyeing, the sciences of dyeing, and see what I can come up with because it'll be exciting.
Oh yeah, it'll be really, really fun.
It'll be exciting.
And then when you write all your dye recipes down, because she bought this really cool leather notebook at the medieval fair that you bought the TARDIS one, right?
The TARDIS, yeah.
Has a TARDIS on it. It's like leather. It's so pretty, but it'll almost be like a spell book.
Yeah.
You'll open it and there's all your spells for the beautiful colors.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So we've got fun projects in the works for that, and we'll see what happens. But let me know what you think.
Yeah. I guess we can kind of just go in if you're, since we're done with the knitting talk, if you want to stick around and just hear what we've been up to lately. And, but if you don't, then we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
But summer has been really. Well, actually, we're just getting into summer, but. It's been crazy the last couple of months. We've both had family. She had family from Canada for a week, and I had my brother and sister-in-law and my niece from California for a week. And it was really fun, but really busy. Yeah. We went to an anime convention in Texas.
Yes.
And that was fun, but busy.
Yes.
And then after after my family from California left, and they stayed part of the time with me and my husband, and then part of the time with my other brother and his family, I got sick. again. I was just sick, like in March or something like that. Got sick again. I still have to clear my throat and stuff. So I'm just now feeling like I'm getting my life back to normal. Mm-hmm. Oh, we also had a convention, 2 weeks ago, that our husbands, for their podcast, had a booth.
Yep.
And we like to go to the convention, but we also help out at the booth when they're doing panels and stuff like that. We watch the booth for them.
Yep.
So that was a whole weekend as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
And there was the Renaissance Fair.
The Renaissance Fair.
We went to the Renaissance Fair, which is a couple of hours away from here.
Yep.
So we traveled to that for a weekend.
It's just been nonstop. And I feel like my life is about to get back to normal. However, her July is going to be crazy.
Oh, my July is insane.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you briefly about this. My birthday is coming up... Next week, this coming week. And for my birthday, my mother-in-law and my mother got me... a couple of classes at a private art studio. There is an artist that is coming down from Michigan, who's a felting artist, and her name is Dawn Edwards. Some of you may know her, but she is doing a eco-dyeing workshop as well as a hat making workshop. So I get to work with felts to make a cool hat. And so that's a 2-day next weekend, and the eco dyeing is 1 day. So three days next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I am in classes all day. I am so excited, so looking forward to these classes. But Friday night, I play D&D now. I don't know if I was playing last time, but I play D&D, and so my Friday nights are D&D nights. So I've got to go from the class and get back into town because the class is 30 minutes outside of town. So I got to get back into town before that. And so...
And then she's going to Canada for 10 days?
10 days. I'm going to be in Canada for 2 weekends. And so my July is just absolutely slammed. And then I think we're going to try to maybe record the first week of August, maybe. Yeah. And then the second week of August, our guys are planning a big podcasting party.
That we do every year. It's an
annual pool party barbecue thing. So that will be that weekend. We'll figure it out.
It's the weekend of the 18th, I think, or something like that.
It's the 11th now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she hosts it at her house, and so everybody comes over, and we usually stay the night, and
party.
It's super fun because our friends from out of town come and everything. But yeah, it's pretty. Summer is definitely
busy time,
super busy, but fun.
Conventions, fairs, etc. All of it. And we've been spending time in the pool when we see each other sometimes. And so that's been nice. And
I've been doing a lot of sewing.
She has been.
I love sewing.
So if you follow her on Instagram, you've seen a lot of it. But, the bag she sewed. What else do you have?
Sorry, I had to go out of view to get it. I brought this actually because, Gal's mother-in-law gave me a bunch of jersey knit fabric that she wasn't going to use. And, she sent me home, she bought 5 yards worth of, that's a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show her because I made something with some of the fabric that she gave me, and it's just black. But, I brought it to show her since she's the one that gave me the fabric. But it's this very long black cardigan. It kind of has I don't even know if you can see. It has a band at the bottom. It's supposed to have pockets, but I don't have the pockets yet because I had them cut out, and you have to fold it down and iron it and then sew it for the little... My iron was too hot, so when I was ironing it down, I burnt it. So I...
need to recut pockets?
Because you can't... Yeah, I have to recut pockets because you don't use as much heat on jersey knit as you do with cotton.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of the the bags I do and stuff. My iron was still set for when I was making this dog bag. And so, yeah. But it's... I used black... A, because I like it, and B, because it hides the imperfections, if you have any, which I do. But, can't even put it on.
But yeah, Kitten has been really into sewing this summer, and she's been making some adorable clothes.
loved sewing.
So it may end up being that she sews her garments and knits her accessories.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because I was like, I can still get my garment. Like, I want to make garments, okay? It's really cool to make or to wear something that you've made. Mm-hmm. And if knitting garments is not my thing, so far sewing garments have turned out great. Mm-hmm. I haven't really had any bad. Some have turned out better than others, but all of them I wear and all of them I like. So maybe that's what I'll just make garments and then wear accessories.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I've been doing a lot of sewing. You can look at my Instagram, which we didn't do any of our contact information at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Ravelry as @SpaceKitten3000.
And you can find me on those platforms as Gally Alvia.
But anyway, you can see a lot of my sewing on there.
Yeah.
So, but I've been doing a lot of that. It's really fun. It's really relaxing, because I feel like when I'm sewing, I'm just focusing on my sewing. My mind doesn't wander as much as when I'm knitting. And maybe that's because I'm still really new at sewing, so I have to concentrate more on it. Mm-hmm. But it kind of, like, it's a break of my mind just going everywhere and thinking about, I have to do laundry, or I have to, what I'm going to have to do at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's just, I put on an audiobook or a podcast or music. I have my own little room where I can do stuff. My dog's usually hanging out with me. And I just sew. And it's so nice. It's like a break from all reality.
Yeah. See, I feel that way. Mm-hmm. I feel that way with knitting. Mm-hmm. Sewing, I do enjoy sewing, but I find it a little bit more tedious.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Mm-hmm. So that's really funny that you've kind of found your niche with sewing.
Yeah. But anyway, it's fun. I like making things.
Yep. So I know I kind of talked about this a little bit in one of my posts on Instagram, and I'll probably kind of wrap up with this. I have been dealing with some, I'm going to say, mental health issues. And I've just been kind of trying to prioritize my physical health a little bit more. So like working out, although this last week with family in town, it didn't really happen. But I've been having to try to find and strike a better balance in my life that includes working on my physical health as well as being able to knit and do those things that emotionally fulfills me. So I've been, going to therapy, and I'm on medications, and I've really been trying to work on a holistic plan of health that includes the working out and the foods that you eat and that you don't eat. And so it's taken me away from my knitting a little bit more. But I just wanted to kind of let y'all know that that has been going on as well. And that's why I haven't been posting as much, as I've just been kind of working through my issues.
Your well-being.
That's
just
exactly
emotional
right.
And physical well-being.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I've just kind of been working through that and trying to reprioritize, and it's just taken me away from everything. And I really appreciate Kitten for sticking it out and coming back to the podcast, because I know it's something we both enjoy doing, but she had to kind of wait until I was able to kind of come back to the podcast and even have anything to offer you guys, because I haven't been knitting. So, it's been a process, but I appreciate all of you guys for coming back. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the kind words of encouragement that I got on Instagram, and for your understanding, because really, when you're on social media, it can be such a bad and negative place, but you guys were so uplifting, and it really was reaffirming that I am investing my time in a place that is welcoming and in a community that is just so uplifting and affirming
and encouraging and everything. It's great to And it's so funny how, you know, we don't know each other personally, but that there's just so much care and consideration within the community and support. It just shows really how awesome knitters and makers of all kind are.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, you know, that was my little gravitas moment, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody out there. And
but you're feeling better.
I am feeling better. I'm doing much better. Even though it doesn't really look like it today. We had a party yesterday. We had a bunch of people over yesterday. And normally she wakes up like it, you know, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, because I texted her at 6:30 because I was just sure she was going to be awake. And
my animals let me sleep in this morning. Go figure. Right? They never let me do that. But they let me sleep in this morning, thankfully. So when she texted me a second time, I was like, "Oh, I'm awake now. Totally awake now. I need a shower, and I don't really feel like doing my makeup or anything else like
that.
And I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care.
Nobody cares. No. And if they do, why? Why do you care if she has makeup or her hair done?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cares, and if you do, that's weird. If you do care, then you're a weirdo. Just saying.
I do it for myself, not for others. But anyway, so that's what's been going on with us, and if you stuck around through the end of this, well done.
Hats off to you.
But thank you so much. We will see you again here in about a month.
Yes.
And, you know, continue to follow us on social media. I will do better at being on Ravelry because I haven't been posting or doing anything on Ravelry of late, and I got to get back into that groove.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, Instagram is the best way to follow us.
Yes.
We're on all the social medias.
We also have a Twitter that's Gal and Kitten Knittin. Well, it's
Gack.
Yes, but neither of us have been active on that lately either because we haven't really been doing much
knitting.
Mm-mm.
So Instagram.
Yeah, our personal Instagrams are the way to go if you want to see what we've been up to knitting or non-knitting related. And we'll also post any updates as far as the podcast goes and things like that. This probably will be up. Today is Sunday, so maybe Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yep.
So, yeah. Which that won't matter because when you're watching this, it'll be up. So I don't know why I said any of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fine. Behind the scenes, guys.
Yeah.
Woo, fancy.
Again, we're talking about this as a...
Right.
You get to be a part of the planning.
Yep.
So, anyway, but thank you again. We love you guys, and happy knitting.
Happy knitting.